Welcome to Meet Britain's Makers, Made in the Midlands TV series that brings you interviews with top manufacturing and engineering leaders from the Midlands region. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit madeinthemidlands.tv for fresh weekly content. Today we'll be talking with Allan Jones, the Operations Director of Yeoman Pressings and Made in the Midlands Silver member. So welcome, Allan.
My pleasure.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Fantastic. So Yeoman Pressings are a very inspiring story. I believe the original business was formed in 1963.
That's correct, 1963, yeah.
Yeah, and there was a management buyout in 2010, led by people within the business that led to growth, investment. What is the secret to the successful management buyout that you obviously achieved here?
Well, if you go back to, as I said, 1963, that's when the business first started, and it was in a shed, I believe, in Cradley Heath, by Mr. Yeoman's. They later built a factory in Netherton, and they moved to Netherton, and they were there up until sort of 2000, when the business moved from Netherton to our position now in Coseley. I suppose that from the management buyout point of view, there's four of us involved with the buyout, and the four of us worked together during that time anyway. So we'd been together for a long time. We're not all family members as such, and we had the opportunity in 2010 to buy the business, and really that's what we did. A very difficult period of time, I would imagine, as well, during the recession. So it wasn't an easy decision, and it was a difficult time to be going ahead with the buyout. But the four of us felt we could do it. As I say, we've worked together for a long time. And we've made a good success of it. I think the secret is that we get on with each other.
And
we have worked.
Simple, but
well, absolutely, yeah. I think if we'd been family members, I don't think it would have survived as long as it has done. But because we're not, we have worked together. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses, really, and we gel together. And I think that's probably the success, really. You have to give and take a little bit as well. One of you can't always be right.
It's almost like a relationship.
It's almost like a relationship, but you do have to, you have to give and take, and we do get on very, very well.
Fantastic. So could you tell us about Yeoman Pressings? What products do you make, and what sort of customers do you service?
Yeah, it's a wide variety of products. I mean, as the name suggested, it was a presswork company many years ago, and we've diverse since then as well. But a lot of our customers have remained, and they're there. Some of them have been there for 30 years plus. Although with different products, and we supply to the construction industry, to the leisure industry, health and safety industry, and the heating industry. So we have a wide variation of customers there, and we deal in all metals and products as well. So it's mild steel, it's aluminium materials, it's stainless steel materials. It is only, as we call it, it's not heavy gauge material, so it is thin type material that we use. So we're not into heavy industry. But yeah, we have a broad brush of products.
I mean, from reading your articles on Made in the Midlands page, I know that you're very proud of your staff retention. So it's around 45 people that collectively clock. I think it's over 300 years of service.
Well, yeah, you've probably done your homework. It's a lot of service in there. Yeah, I know. We've got a couple of people that are there over 30 years service. Yeah. And we have one gentleman who's in his 80s, and he still comes in now. He comes in for a couple of mornings a week, and it gets him out of the house. It gives him a purpose in life. It gets him up in the morning as well, and he plays an active role within the business. But people retention has been very, very good. There's not many people that normally leave.
So what creates this loyalty? Because obviously you're doing something right here. So what's your secret?
I think it's been. I'm very much a people type person anyway, and I think it's been on the shop floor. It's been with these people and respecting the people and knowing the people, and knowing the families, knowing it's not all about just coming to work. It's all about their lifestyles. People have problems, and we don't bring them to work, or if they have, it then becomes my problem, and I have to help them where I can as well. So it's a case of being on the shop floor around these people and And you're there to help them, not only with a work situation, but if they have personal problems as well.
So
which
just to
is
be
important.
open and listen to what's
Well,
happening.
that's exactly.
Yeah.
And, there's sometimes a shoulder to cry on, and
Oh.
sometimes a bit of help and a bit of advice that they may need on something they have a problem with, which is, as I say, is not really work related.
It obviously works because it is quite impressive. So I also know from talking to you at some of our events that you're successfully reshoring work back to UK. How are you able to do this, and do you expect this trend to continue within the industry?
Yes, I do, and I don't think it's anything that we're actually doing. I think it's what's happening abroad. I think that's having more of an effect. And if we just talk about the Chinese market, the wages, the living wage and everything else in China has increased over the years. So it's making us in the UK be more competitive now. So we're more competitive. And there's recent products that, as I say, that were being made in China that was going to our customers. We have stepped in and we are competitive on price. We are competitive on delivery, or better on delivery. And we've taken away their problems, really, and that's the way we look at it. If we can take away their problem, where they've got logistically, they've got to wait for containers to come from China, they get stuck on the water, they get stuck in the docks, they've got no product. We can step in and we can make product, and we can deliver product within days, hours sometimes, and we can keep stock for them. So we both win, really. And that's going to happen more. And recently, we've been to one of our big customers, and we've had a look around, and there's a lot of product that they're bringing in, again from China, which they've basically said openly, just have a look at what there is around there. If there's anything there that you can make, any products that you can make, then take them away, quote on the parts, and we'll look at supplying them. So there's a big opportunity, and I think that's not just for us; it's for a lot of companies locally in the Black Country, made in the Midlands people. There's a lot of work out there for them, because, as I say, it's becoming more and more competitive now back in the UK.
Yeah, it is our ethos to basically keep
Absolutely.
British manufacturing,
and
British.
keep it local, and keep it
Yes.
locally.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. Many times we'll get somebody ringing up, can we make this? If we can't make it, then we'll put them in touch with a company that can do. And
Yes.
it's normally another company that's a member of the Made in the Midlands. That's what we try and do where we can.
Perfect. So you've recently invested into punch press and press brakes. How could the company benefit from those investments?
Well, again, that was a massive investment, and again, it was took at a time of recession and big decisions. But we're in a recession, but we're not in a recession forever. So you have to think about, when we come out of the recession, what do we do? Have we got the right equipment? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Can we cope with the demand that's going to happen? And really, we weren't in a position. So we had to invest, and we invested heavily. We invested close to £1 million on new kit. Obviously, from the bank's point of view, it was difficult to get money, but we managed it, and we took a massive gamble. But that gamble has paid off, and we came out of the recession, and we've really hit the ground running, because we've got the equipment, we've got enough equipment, and we could meet the demands of our customers, which the world changed after the recession, and everybody want it yesterday, basically.
That's it. That's always the attitude.
You don't have lead times of weeks now. It's hours. Sometimes it's days. We have to turn things around in 24 hours, which we do successfully, and that is important, again, because the customer, they don't want to wait. They want their product, like Amazon. The way that Amazon works. That's the way.
Now or tonight.
Absolutely, and that's
Yes.
what people do. They go, they go online, they order it, they want it the next day, and that's how our customers are.
So, efficiency and management leadership is a huge topic in the workplace right now. What sort of leader are you, and what is your management style?
Well, as I said earlier, I think you have to be there on the shop floor as ops director. It's an important role. It covers virtually everything within the business, particularly from a day-to-day running on the shop floor. You're covering health and safety, you're covering production, you're covering everything. And you can't manage a shop floor or a factory sitting in an office. You have to be out there, you have to be with the people, and you have to be past the people, and there's nothing that I can't do or wouldn't do on the shop floor if
Like
if
ask
if
your
I had
people
to.
to do,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And we reward them as well. As I say, efficiency is topical, and we pay the staff on a bonus, and they're paid for how efficient they work, not how hard they work, but how efficient they are.
Efficient, yeah.
You don't have to work hard to be efficient.
That's correct.
It's all about, have you got the right equipment? Is it in the right place? Do I need to move that from there to there? So
you also listen to them about their ideas, because they may have ideas as
of course they have. They come up with all the ideas. You may have a suggestion, but if you talk to them, 9 times out of 10 they have a better way of making things and an easier way of making it as well. Flexibility within the shop floor as well. People move around. Not daily. Sometimes they move around by the hour onto different jobs. Whatever's important, then they understand that has to be made, and we have to get the product out, and we have to meet our customers' demands and customers' needs, really.
So now, Allan, imagine you have 2 minutes in front of top UK policymakers. What would you say in regards to the living wage and apprenticeships? So
right, okay. Again, very topical. The living wage, it affects us because the industry we're in. We've always been in this sort of sector where wages are low, albeit the minimum wage, which I thought was fair. The living wage has come in, and it's becoming more of a problem to us, really, in so much that it's not just the living wage that you have to pay to the low paid workers, but it also you have to then reward the skilled people, because the gap, if you're not careful, the gap between unskilled and skilled will close. Then you'll find it difficult to get the skilled people. So where there's an increase on the living wage that goes up 4 or 5%, that has to then be passed on to the skilled people as well.
Skilled people too, yeah.
So you're not just paying the living wage to the people, the low earners, but the skilled people, you're having to pay the same to keep the parity between the unskilled and the skilled. That's the bit that I don't think the government fully understand. We then struggle to pass that on to our customers, to go and pass on the increase. Your hairdresser, your coffee shop, they can pass it on quite easily. Another 20p on a cup of coffee, nobody would notice.
Yeah.
If we go and put 20p, 50p on a product, the customers will soon pick it up, and it's very, very difficult for us. And just touch on apprenticeships as well. Yeah, we have 4 apprentices in the business, ranging from the office to the shop floor. Very important when you're looking at succession planning and moving on, that you've got the younger people coming through with the skills. It is difficult to find the right person, and the right person wants to get up in the morning and wants to come and work in a factory. But they are out there, and we've been lucky. We've got 4 good apprentices at the moment, and they've been with us they've all been with us well over 12 months now, and we'll be looking for others in the future.
So you have to continue to support that. The apprenticeship project, push it forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
From the government point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. That needs to be pushed further still as well, and the funding. There's funding there, but you can always do with a bit more funding.
Yes.
That sort of thing.
A continuous plan rather than just something that changes with the government.
Correct.
Something that's solid.
Something that's solid and something that's long term as well. And there's plenty of scope for them, because when they've got through the first, second, third level, what's next? And it's not a case of just staying there. There's further things they can advance to as well, really. But the younger people, say within the business, and I involve them a lot where I can, as much as I can, because I say they are going to be the future of the business. Because the 4 of us now that own the business and are directing the business, we're not going to be there forevermore. So succession planning is very, very important to us.
Fantastic. On this note, I would like to thank you very much
My pleasure.
For today, Allan. We've learned a lot about Yeoman Pressings, about Allan's management style, and how he keeps everyone engaged and successful and staying with the company. So that's really, really good lesson here. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, madeinthemidlands.tv, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.